stage in a very long time, and now I'm a different person because I had a episode. But before I tell you about my episode, I need to tell you about who I was. I am Latina. Thank you. I have 2 older sisters, so I'm the baby and I'm the favorite. It's true.
Yeah, right.
Dick. That's my brother-in-law. Protecting his wife, who's not the favorite. Thank you. I still love you. Where am I going with this? I'm going with who I was. I was the type of person who was a badass, who was a bitch, was strong, thought vulnerability was a weakness. I used to always suppress the weaknesses in myself. I didn't really talk about things when they were bad. I just would internalize everything. And I had this strength. And the strength I got was from my mom. We're all very strong, my sisters and I. And the reason is, whenever we had our menstrual cycles and we wanted to stay home from school, my mom would say, your period is not an illness, you have to go to school. And so I've always been very strong. Because otherwise, I'd have to hear it. But we're very close. There's this unity between Latin families that I can't even explain. Most of you probably know. It's annoying at times, but it's a unity and it's a strength that I have. But also, I have always felt, even as the baby, that I had to be very strong. And it was this thing that no one told me I had to be, I just felt it. So growing up in life, I always internalized everything, like I said. And when my dad was in his final stage of Parkinson's, I stepped in and I decided I'm going to take care of him. Because my mom did it for so many years. And I used my strength to be there for my family and to be there towards the end for my dad. But I realized towards the end that it took something from me when he left. There was a part of my heart that he took with him. And I went about my life like I always did, internalizing everything. And last year was a doozy. Last year was the 1-year anniversary of my dad's passing, and we were all still mourning his death. And it was also 10 years that I was working at a company that was going to be swallowed by a mouse. A very rich mouse. And I decided to tell someone that I had feelings for them, and they did not reciprocate the feelings back. Oh, my heart took a beating, and it decided to get my attention. And 3 months ago, at 4 a.m, I awoke to excruciating pains in my chest and my back. I just thought it was muscle spasms from working out because obviously I'm an athlete. And I tried to sleep it off for an hour and it just got worse. So I woke up and I sat up in my bed and the pain was so bad and I started sweating. And it was February in Los Angeles and it was 40 degrees. And I don't know, you guys, it's cold for Los Angeles, 40 degrees. And I'm sweating. So I call my sister. It's 5:30 now, but she doesn't answer because it's 5:30 in the morning. Who's up at that time? So I get up, I'm at the side of my bed, I'm trying to assess the situation because, now I'm in survival mode. I got to figure out what is going on. So I get up, but I remember all I wanted to do was just fall on the floor and pass out. And I said, no, get up, get dressed. I got dressed. For some reason, I said, don't wear a bra. And I'm not a hippie. But I didn't wear a bra. And I made sure to wear a sweater that I didn't really care for, that if, whatever, it was just this weird thing. I said, just wear that old sweater you don't care for, put it on. And I walked to my car, shivering, but sweating, and I'm this way because my breathing is labored now. And I drive myself to the emergency room, not knowing what's going on, by the way. I get to the emergency room, it's 2 miles away. I park my car perfectly. I get out of the car. I have my purse over my shoulder, and I start reaching in, and I grab my wallet, and I walk into the check-in room. And there is the lady with her back to me. And I just throw my wallet into that window, and I hit her in the back. She turns around, looks at me, and I put my head on the check-in desk, and I said, I'm having chest pains. And she calls Code Blue. I was so glad that she didn't tell me off, because I hit her in the back with my wallet. They take me in, and from this point on, they're just monitoring me and doing all kinds of tests and asking me questions like, did you take anything? Did you have anything to drink? And I'm thinking, what kind of party did they think I was at? I feel like shit. I don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden, my world became soft and foggy, and I went somewhere. The next thing I remember is I wake up and I'm in this dark space. And I felt like my body was floating in water. And I look, and this face appears. Stands into this light source, and only from this way up, I see his face. And it's this white guy. And then from behind him, this black lady appears. And then from the other side, another face. And at that point, I'm not counting, I don't even know, I only know those 2 faces. And now I realize what it reminded me of. It was like the Bohemian Rhapsody music video. Those faces, but it wasn't Queen. I honestly don't know who those people were, but they're just, it was this was the look on their faces. So only their faces are lit from this light source behind me, and I'm guessing that's the light where I'm supposed to go. And my brain says, oh my God, you're not in your body anymore. You need to go back. Because I wasn't ready to go, you guys. I already knew at that moment I wasn't ready to go, and I started to fight. But I couldn't verbalize it. I was paralyzed. I couldn't say anything, but I could hear my brain saying, no, you need to go back to whatever you need to do. And I start screaming in my head, but I can't hear it. But I remember that Caucasian man's face. And he goes from this look on his face to this. And I came back, and I'm on the hospital bed, and I'm screaming my head off, no, don't put me back there, I'm not ready to go! And there's a guy here, and there's a guy here, and they're trying to hold me down, and I fucking I fought. And I remember hearing myself screaming and going, oh my God, is that me? Oh my God, I'm screaming. What's going on? And finally they're calming me down, and they're all shocked. I'll never forget this guy's face. He had this look like, holy shit, what happened? And the doctor comes over and he says, it's okay, we shocked your heart back. And I went, what does he mean? From that point on, everything is just like snippets of things. I remember like them saying, your sister's coming. I remember seeing my friend standing there crying. I remember my sister coming over to me, and she looks around, and then she gets in my ear and she goes, did you take anything? What kind of party did they think I was at? It was a Thursday night, guys. It's not partying. I go to work. I get up early. It was 5. Anyway, they have to send me out to another hospital to get treatment. And I have to say I was a little bit excited because I had to be on one of those, cars that take you with the sirens and stuff. And I was so excited. It was like, oh my God, I'm going to be in an ambulance. and they're gonna have to make way for me. Like, this is so cool. So they take me on, and I'm so excited, and I'm feeling great, by the way, because I'm heavily medicated. I have no idea I had a heart attack. They're driving me, and I realize the sirens aren't on. Like, what the fuck? I had a heart attack. Well, they wheel me in anyway, and they do some extensive tests, and they do an angiogram, where they put a catheter in one of your arteries, and they see what's going on with your heart. So finally, my cardiologist, I have one now, guys, and he says, okay, so we found out that your arteries are squeaky clean and your cholesterol is good. So virtually you are a healthy Latina, but he called me a white girl. And then he said, what you had was a spontaneous coronary artery dissection. And yeah, that same look you have there. And he goes, you had a SCAD. What? Did he just say I had a scab? Or was that a scat? Like what jazz singers do? Didn't get it, and he realized the confusion, and he starts to write the acronym that I will forever be associated for the rest of my life. SCAD. SCAD. Basically what it is a tear in an artery that causes the blood to coagulate, and so you go into cardiac arrest, and 90% of people that have this do not survive. So he made sure to tell me that it was a miracle that I was alive, and that went straight to my head. You guys, this is a miracle you are all looking at right here. And I'm talking. Anyway, a few days in the hospital, treatment. I did not have to have an operation. I did not need a stent. I was very lucky because I am the miracle that I am. But if you have ever spent days in a hospital, you know that it's very boring, and it takes a long time, and you can't sleep. They're always checking in on you every 2 hours. But there was something different at this hospital. Every now and again, I would hear like a lullaby playing. And so when the nurse came in, I go, can I ask you something? She goes, sure. And I said, what is that lullaby playing? Oh, she goes, oh, that means that a baby is born. And I went, oh, well, what do you play when someone dies? Taps? She just went, She didn't find my humor funny. I died, guys. I came back. That's something. Yeah. 3 months ago, I died and I came back. It's not that simple. Even though the doctor said I'm very lucky, I'm very healthy, the things that have changed in me are, I grew 1.25 inches. Probably when I was shocked, I went, ah! And I got taller. I moved this way too. I had to do cardio rehab, which was great. One thing that I'm noticing is that I'm always the youngest one now. It used to be the youngest patient of the cardiologist. Now a 33-year-old beat me. Cardio rehab was an experience. They used a bell a lot to make you change the exercises. I wasn't having any of that. But otherwise, people always ask me, are you okay? And my automatic thing is, yeah, I'm okay. Because physically, yeah, I'm okay. But here, you guys, I am not okay. I went somewhere that I cannot comprehend, that I have difficulty explaining to people, and I've been struggling with it. I feel so alone sometimes. Like, I feel like I'm never gonna get through this, that how can I feel so alone when my entire family is here tonight?
Yeah!
there's this realization that I feel. Do you need the tissue? No. This realization that I feel is that it's so soon. It's been 3 months, you guys. I had a second chance. I saw something that I don't understand because I didn't even allow it to make sense to me because I'm a fighter. I wanted to come back. I didn't finish experiencing things on this planet yet, but it takes time to come back, I realize. And now I have to join support groups. I'm part of a SCAD support group. Sometimes it gets really depressing, and I have to block people on Facebook when they get depressing, and it's very powerful because they don't know I'm a miracle. I also had to join an NDE group, which is the near-death experience group, and I have found that people that have dealt with dying, it's not the same experience for everyone. People will say, oh, I saw a light. Or people will ask me, oh, did you see Jesus? I'm like, no, I saw a white guy, but I also saw a black lady. I don't know who they were. It wasn't my loved ones. It was somebody. It was the void. It was this in-between space. And things are different now. I haven't completely come back. It's going to take time. It's almost like resetting a computer, rebooting it. You just change some kind of the hardware, and some of the apps haven't completely downloaded yet. But I know that I'm not alone. I have my family, like I said. I have my bitches, including you, Chris. And it is a struggle, but I'm gonna get through it. I had a second chance, you guys, and I'm really, all of you tonight have something special too. You get to go home, you can tweet it if you want tonight. You actually have seen a living miracle. Now, I want to end it lastly with why I brought up the sweater. If you ever find yourself going to the emergency room, this is why it's important. Do not wear something that is a vintage, any kind of designer sweater, or something that you can't replace. Because this is what it will look like.